Welcome to our virtual showroom. We decided to put this together given the current situation that we've been dealing with. We're going to go from display to display. We'll discuss the different styles, the different cabinetry that we provide, different countertops we provide, different tile materials. And our hope is that spending some time online will give you a sense of what we do, and then you'll be excited about giving us a call and taking the next step for us to come out and take a look at your project. This is a new display that we recently brought in. It's our St. Martin cabinetry line. It's a semi-custom line that really has a lot of features of a full custom cabinetry. And what we're able to do is get some real specialty finishes. This is a natural walnut finish that we're looking at here in a very unique, contemporary, kind of transitional style door. And we're creating a very high-end look at a very reasonable price. Some of the features in the cabinet include full extension drawer boxes. They're all maple dovetail, just like our fully custom cabinet. When you open the cabinet here, if you open it here, it's a fully plywood cabinet with a solid plywood wood edge, very strong right here. So it has a lot of the features of our custom line, but at a much better price point. And this particular cabinet we consider it's a hybrid line. It's some of the components are made overseas, and then the cabinet is then manufactured and put together here in Pennsylvania. So this display demonstrates a few different things. I guess the first thing is our Soapstone Counters, and this is our favorite brand of soapstone. We get it through Vermont. It's a nice soapstone. It actually has a texture to it. It's not smooth like a lot of the granite materials we have, and it's sitting on top of one of our period style displays. And this display, it shows it's our Amesbury style door, which is a shaker style door with a shallow recess, a little different from a typical legacy type of shaker door. And it's shown in a flush inset style. So the door is flush with the frame of the cabinet and with an exposed hinge. So the hinge is exposed, very traditional style. And in this particular display, we actually mixed an overlay down below. It's a framed overlay with a partial overlay, just to give it kind of a furniture look. Just shows that you can mix different framing styles within the same display. Another feature of this display is that it has a low sheen. So we're able to vary the sheens on both the painted finishes and on the stained finishes. So these two little mini bases are a demonstration of what's called a beaded inset. And you can see the frame is smaller when you look at it than the typical frame here, because we've carved a bead out of it. And then the door is inset into the frame. And these two show the two different beading styles. This is a little bit thicker beading style here, and down below here we have a thinner bead. Both examples of a beaded inset. This is another one of our Sudbury Cabinet Company displays. Over here we're showing a painted glaze finish, which is a nice finish. And again, we're on a beaded inset. So it's a frame cabinet with a bead going all the way around, showing a couple different things. Here's a couple of tilt-down trays that we do. A couple different tilt-down trays where you can put beans and pasta and rice and things like that. We have a couple of pull-out trays where you could have potatoes and onions and things of that nature. And then just showing a couple of decorative columns as well. And then on top, on the countertop, this is a granite countertop with a double laminated edge. So we've got a DuPont edge on the top over an ogee. So something that we do on a number of our higher end kitchens, sometimes strictly on the island if we're trying to do something special. This particular display, we're demonstrating a full frameless display. We're using the same door as the previous display, the Amesbury door, where we showed it in a flush inset. Here we're showing it in a frameless application, which gives it a much more transitional look. We've got a little bit more kind of transitional hardware. You can see some of the features, in the cabinet. Again, full extension drawers, cutlery dividers in the top. This particular cabinet is a bread base. We have a bread drawer here, which we use quite often. It has a sliding plastic lid to help keep things fresh on the inside. So this one cabinet, you end up with 3 nice drawers. And then down below, we've got a pull-out, 2 doors that would open, and a nice deep pull-out. You can see we've got this pull-out loaded up real heavy. It holds a lot of weight. And again, it closes, and it's a soft close mechanism as well. And then over here, again, just over here, we've got just another example of the wicker baskets that could be hidden away, and a couple of additional drawers, one with cutlery up above. And then the countertop is another granite countertop. It's a material called Cosmos. It's a material that has a high mica content. It can only be done with a pencil edge, the way it's shown here, because it just does not edge well with some of the fancier edges, but it's a very nice material. And over here we're showing a Frankie Sink and Frankie faucet. So a lot of the projects that we do include an addition as well as remodeling on the inside. And this particular project was something that we designed. We were putting an addition on the back of the house. So we started by coming up with some elevations of what the back of the house would look like. And there's some line drawings. And then we actually did a full color rendering of what the back of the house would look like. And it's what we do with most of our additions, so that the client knows exactly what the house is going to look like when it's completed. And then, here we're showing like some elevations, a front elevation of the sink wall, elevation showing the island, elevation showing the other wall where the oven is. And then a couple of different floor plans. So we don't, typically we'd come up with a couple different options, showing a couple different options of, a couple different floor plans. And then what's nice about the showroom is then we also can show you all of the product as well. So, in this product, we had 2 bathrooms. So we have a couple of different setups showing a couple of different options as far as what we were thinking about for each bathroom. Showing again, we would show, what type of door we were going to have with the, that we're using for the cabinetry, what type of countertop material we're going to be using. Here's one of our quartz materials that we're using. And then we have the tile material. And tile is really changing. What we're doing a lot of porcelain tile these days. Here's a nice example of one of the materials that we're using. Comes in a nice large tile. This particular one is a 16 by 36. It comes both in a gloss porcelain and in a matte porcelain. The matte would be used on the floor. The gloss would be used in the shower. And then we have coordinating matte options to use as for the shower floor, or to create a tile mat, coming outside the shower. And then kind of looking over here, you can see that the tiles are even getting larger. So these tiles right here are actually 2 foot by 4 foot. This is another porcelain tile, and we're able to really kind of create inside the shower. We're creating full walls that look like full stone walls. Now we're able to do it with porcelain tiles, which has helped bring the cost down as compared to what we were paying to do full sheets of quartz materials. And then also this particular line here, it also has coordinating mosaic tiles that we're able to use in the shower for the shower floor as well, creating some kind of floor mat outside the shower. This display here is another one of our Sudbury cabinet displays, and it demonstrates quite a bit of different things that we do. And with our Sudbury cabinet line, we do a lot of specialty finishes, specialty framing styles. So this particular cabinet is called Shaker Expressions. You can see that we accentuate some wide center styles on purpose. The framing style, it's a framed flush inset cabinet, but it's missing the bottom rail. If you see that, a typical cabinet would have the rail going all the way around. This one is missing the bottom rail, which is nice. It's a wood finish. It's a cherry cabinet. It was hand planed. You can see hand plane finishing on the doors. It has hand-cut old-fashioned nails to give it that true period style. It has chamfering on the corners of the cabinets. Coming up on the corners, we have chamfering on both sides. So a lot of the different specialty finishes, and it's a stained glaze combination. It was stained and glazed. So that's some of the features. Here in the open frame glass cabinets we have here is an example of our leaded glass. So we mix in water glass with some colored glass with the leaded finish, and it's actually inset into the cabinet here. And another feature about that it creates the period style is the colored finishes. And we do a number of different kind of green and blue interior finishes that then show through on the cabinet. Here we're showing a backsplash of a Vermont slate. We're using a number of different slates for both backsplash materials and floor materials. The counter is a granite, a St. Cecilia granite with a pencil edge. And in this display, we're using matching wooden knobs as well. And we're also showing a nice Frankie bowl-and-a-half sink with a Growy faucet. This board here demonstrates a number of the specialty finishes that we do in the Sudbury cabinet line. Everything from what we call a worn furniture look to a worming. We have a cherry with a worm cherry. Finishes that are meant to replicate finishes that were painted and then sanded, or painted over stained finishes and then sanded. So all types of different finishes. And we have a guide that we give out to people, which is the level of antiquing. And we kind of talk about the different levels of antiquing that can be done on the cabinetry. And quite often we'll do something like this on a side piece, a specialty piece, maybe a sideboard, a serving piece, or some type of a hutch. This is one of our newer displays. It's our St. Martin line. It's showing a frameless cabinetry in our Belrose style door. What's nice about the cabinet line is that we're able to kind of create a framed look using a frameless cabinet. You can see that, here we've got the frameless box right here, and then the panel coming down, which gives it like a 1-inch kind of panel over here. And we have the undercounter rail here to hide undercounter lighting, and then an apron above with the crown. It gives the cabinet a framed feel using a frameless box. We're mixing a soft white on the perimeter with a cherry island, and we're showing a nice light quartz counter. The majority of the kitchens we're doing these days we're using nice quartz counters that have marble looks or limestone type of looks. This particular counter is showing a royal OG edge, which is just a nice dressed up edge. It's a single edge thickness, but nice dressed detail to the edge. So in here, it's one of our more popular door styles that we've been using it. We've been installing this cabinet line in very high-end houses ranging from 1.5 million to 2 million. So and it's working very well in those houses. This is one of our more popular door styles called the Belrose in a soft white. Just showing a couple features. Corner pie cabinet here, glass cabinets here with a darker finish, showing like a cherry finish inside the cabinet, something a little different. And up here you can see that we do some very nice hoods, in the line as well, up over the cooktop area. And here's just an example of one of our Viking ovens, Viking double oven, which is very nice. has the standard oven down below with the nice gliding rack, with the double oven up above with the open doors restaurant style, which allow you to get a little bit closer to the oven. And again, with this one has two sliding racks. On the island here, we're showing the Frankie Farmhouse sink in white, which has been very popular. Many of the kitchens we're doing the farmhouse sink. I actually own one myself at home, so I can speak to the functionality of it. I really enjoy the sink. It cleans very well. It functions very well. You're able to get nice and close to the sink when you're doing the dishes. I love everything about the sink, and all the clients that have been using it have really been enjoying it. Very durable. Stands up very well to the use in the sink. I haven't had any callbacks on it, so everyone's been very happy with it. Right next to the sink right here, is a nice double trash. So typically, in most of our designs, we would have the double trash to one side and then a dishwasher to the other side. So it's a complete cleanup area. Coming over here, is just kind of one of the racks of our top knobs, one of our more popular hardware lines. Typically, we have all the samples available to test out on the cabinet, before we go ahead and order hardware. And people have been very happy with both the top knobs line and some of the other classic brass line that we carry here. This is another example of our Sudbury cabinet line, another one of our period style finishes. It's considered an early American finish. Again, we're doing no bottom rail, again, like we had on the previous display. It's a little different. It's a flush inset, which is nice, with the bead on the outside of the cabinet. As compared to the beaded inset that would have the bead on the inset, we actually bead the outside of the cabinet, which is a little bit different. Flush inset style. It's called a Wheatland stain. So it's meant to give it that kind of almost patchy, kind of old style kind of look. It's sitting on a silver sea green granite. And again, another example of a farmhouse sink, but in this example, another straight front, but a double bowl soapstone sink. With the soapstone sinks, we're able to custom manufacture them to any kind of configuration, a third bowl with a full bowl, a double bowl. We're really able to do a lot of different things. This display shows a number of different things. We've got a tilt-down, pull-out wood cutting board that can be hidden away, which is kind of nice. And here we've got a lift-up mixer. You can put your nice heavy KitchenAid mixer right on, and nice and secure. We've got a couple of decorative drawers down low here where we can do something decorative just in the front with functional storage in the back. The sink base that holds the farmhouse sink. Up here we're showing leaded glass, and in this case we're actually using old glass, old reclaimed glass that was hand blown. Once you look at it, you see there's actually little imperfections in the glass that show the original old reclaimed glass put into a leaded frame. Over here, underneath the farmhouse sink, demonstrate, you got two drawers. You can actually put a pull-out under the sink if you'd like, for cleaning things, and we do that quite often, which is nice. We'll pull out underneath the sink. And then again, same thing to the left of the sink. You'd have in this case, we have a large single pull-out trash. And then kind of coming over here, which is really popular these days, is a pull-out canned good rack, which are very nice. We can either do them in a base, like it's shown here, or we're also doing them in talls, where you could actually do a tall pantry cabinet and have two large pull-out racks in this style, which has been very popular. Again, this is an example of our Sudbury cabinet line, and in our Sudbury cabinet line, our inside shelves have a solid wood edge that's been nicely sanded smooth. And you know, probably one of the large differences, you know, in our Sudbury cabinet line is the interiors of the cabinet, where each you know, the inside of the cabinet is finished just as nicely as the outside of the cabinet. And kind of a good example of it is a cutlery divider. This is just a small cutlery divider, and each cutlery divider, it's like a little small piece of furniture. Everything is finely finished. The drawer boxes are sanded and nicely finished. You know, you see on a lot of the other cabinet lines, you know, it's you know, where it's dovetailed together, it might be a little rough. These are all sanded nice and cleanly. The cabinet is really furniture quality finish. We're in the bath area of our showroom, and here's one of our custom showers. Typical custom shower. In this case, you can see we've got a custom glass shower enclosure. Nice thick half-inch glass. Nice feature about the shower doors that we do is that typically they swing both directions, open in this way, and you can actually open and go right straight through into the shower that way, which is a nice feature. And nothing sitting on the threshold below that you're gonna, you know, step on or anything like that. A couple things, you know, all the glass is all tempered in the shower area for safety. And then two features that we do in the glass, we add water protection to the glass, which is very important in this area where we have high mineral content. We add a water protection to the inside of the glass, which keeps it from etching. We still recommend that you squeegee the glass, you know, on a daily basis to keep the water off it, which helps in keeping it, you know, in the condition that we put it in. And then in this situation, we also use a low iron glass, where most of the clear glass has a real green tinge to it. This is more of a tan tinge, and it works much better with the earth tone colors that we're typically using in the lighter colors. So the only real green that you're seeing on the glass now is just on the edges, a little bit on the edges, but not on the face. So that's a real improvement. Something to talk about inside, you know, the shower here is typically we're putting in a rain shower head as well as a handheld on a bar. And then sometimes some body sprays as well. And something new that's coming along with Growy is they're integrating the bar into the shower valves. We're going to be getting ready to put in a new display fairly soon with a new Growy product. It comes with one bar that has the rain shower head in the handheld all together on the bar, and the pressure balance valve actually built right into it. So it's a little bit less clunky, and something new that we're going to be looking at. Another thing that, you know, we're showing here is an example of the bench coming right into the shower. So here we have an undermount tub deck, you know, an undermount tub and a one-piece deck coming right straight through into the shower, giving you a nice place to sit inside the shower, and then the tub deck out here. Another little feature we have in here that we do in most of the showers is the recess. So typically we're doing a recess inside the shower, an area for soap and shampoo and things of that nature. And then another little feature that we show in the back of the shower is, as an option, is a floor drain. So we've got a continuous linear floor drain that's set in the back of this particular shower, and which is typically, you know, what we would, you know, ideally we're either putting it at the back of the shower or up at the front of the shower, and then it allows for no center drain. You're not standing anywhere in the shower, you're actually standing on the drain. Here we have an example of an undermount tub deck. So we've got a two-piece, done in two-piece quartz top going out into the shower area, undermount tub deck. The nice thing about this, if you think about doing a tub deck, is that it gives you a place, one, to kind of put things, you know, when you're in the tub, but it also allows you the ability to sit down and kind of swing yourself around into the tub. Over here, you also see, you know, very often when we're behind a tub, we typically have a window behind the tub. And so what we're running into in most of our renovation projects is the existing window is not a tempered window. So the building departments are requiring us to change out that window to a new tempered window. So here's an example of a 5'6" freestanding tub. A lot of the master bath renovations that we're doing these days, we're removing the tub decks, the large oversized tub decks, and we're eliminating the jacuzzi in a lot of situations and just going with a freestanding soaking tub, something of this nature. It gives a nice deep tub to functionally use, and it really adds a nice kind of art feature to the whole master bathroom. For a few years, we've been kicking around the idea of building an old 1800s style post and beam barn. And with the current time frame, we had a little bit of free time on our hands, so we took this on as a project this summer. And you can see we're building a full old antique style post and beam barn. We're milling all the lumber ourselves. We started out with trees that we cut down across the street 2 years ago, and then milled them up into 16-inch blocks and beams, and spent a couple years letting stuff dry. And then jumped in and started building this thing last month in July. And then we've also, we ran a little shy of materials. We had a new lumber order of logs, about 15 logs dropped off by Rusty's Tree Service. And we milled those up. We milled up the roof boards, the roof 6x10 boards, and the large 2-inch by either 12-inch or 14-inch roof boards. The next thing we're going to get ready to do is we're going to jump onto the roof. We have some insulated panels being made up. They're insulated foam panels with OSB on the top. We're going to be putting those up on the roof and then putting up another steel roofing, a gray steel roof up on the top side. We're up here in the loft that we built, and up here we're thinking about building some farmhouse tables. And here you can see kind of what we're looking at. We've got some nice wide red pine boards, and this is kind of along the lines of the type of table that we're going to be building. Some nice, really wide pine tables, and also some oak tables. And so you can see this is what we're laying out for the top. Down below here we'll be cutting our legs and our framework for the base out of. This is freshly cut. We're going to put it downstairs. We've got a little drying room that we've set up that we were able to dry the wood and get it to the proper moisture content. And we've got wood that we've been drying for the last couple of years that we're going to get started, and we're going to start building our first batch of farmhouse tables, both pine and oak tables.